jar file. So we just finished editing this day 5 average, and over on the left side I see my project with the package directory and then files here. To create a jar file, you'll just right click on the file you want to create the jar file for and go over to export. Once you're in export, you're going to go ahead and select Java and then jar file. Hit next. On this page, the most important things to look at are these two checkboxes. Make sure this first checkbox and the third checkbox are checked off. And then where you're going to save the file and what its name is. The name of the file should always be your last name .jar. That makes my life a lot easier when I grade it. And then in terms of where to put it, I'd go ahead and put it on your desktop, because I'll show you how to find the file on your desktop. If you'd like to put it somewhere else, you can do some change directories once you're in the command console to go find it. And at this point, say finish. And you might get a warning that it already exists. You say yes. It might report that there are some warnings. That's fine. You can just hit OK. At this point, the jar file has been created. Now, if we're working on something where there's multiple files, you could right-click up here at the package level and create the jar file for the package level. And at that point, all the files from that package will be in there. And indeed, you could also do it up at the project level, which would in turn include all the packages. At this point, I have the file down in my file system. So I'm going to launch my command console on Windows. So I'm going to open the search and go CMD. It'll pop up. I right click on this and pin this to my taskbar. It's already on my taskbar at the bottom. I would suggest that you do that. If you're working with a Mac, you can launch Terminal. It's very similar in style to what the command console is. Now on both the Mac and on Windows, you open one directory below the desktop. So to move to the desktop, we'll do CD space desktop. That stands for change directory. Now we're in the desktop, and the jar file will be there. I could say dir start jar if we want to see all the jar files. That's what works in Windows. If you're on the Mac, you'd say ls star.jar, and you would see the jar files listed. Now to run it, I will type java -cp, which stands for class path, space the file name, which is restpass.jar. Now here comes the tricky part. We need to give the fully qualified name for the program. So my program is in package U1, and the name of the class is day5_average. So I'll say U1.day5_average. If the package structure was different, you'd have more in front of the class name. And we use dots as separators between packages and classes. So I'll hit enter, and my program will run. And I can type in the different numbers, and you have a successful program. This jar file, this restpass.jar, or whatever your jar file name is, that's the file that you will submit to Schoology. Good luck.